Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. So the interception there, and Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. The numbers for Sanders last week, 17 carries, 53 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
Flush to his right. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. And the Commanders are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
As the Commanders make their way out on offense, let's take a peek at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off the option, he'll try and run with it. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. Robinson will try to pick it up. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that is very well done there as this will be marked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they showed confidence in their defense by punting it away.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. 1st down. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And this is going to be an Eagles 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 30.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
On first down, Hurts escaping the pressure right. He finds his tight end, Goddard. That's complete. Looking to throw again on second down. Hurts. Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. Throwing is Hurts. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be fourth down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down, they just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Robinson. Runs over him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. For a lot of people, the MVP award means the quarterback award usually, but over 100 yards again last week. They're going to have to look his way more than once when giving out this award this season, I think.
Yeah, it's not just the consistency. It's been some plays that we've seen where we talk about it for weeks thereafter. That's what we're getting out of him. Over 100 yards last week. Expects to continue that in this game, too.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side, 2nd and 7. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. Touchdown, Washington. CeeDee Lamb with career touchdown number 60. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They're probably lucky to only be down 7-0 as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On 2nd and 9. Hurts. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly, and forcing incompletions.
On fourth down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And some room to roam now.
51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and a finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, it was something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something, and that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe, but that's much easier said than done.
First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
Well, these two teams, you may recall, they didn't play each other till late in the year. Their first meeting was not too long ago, back in Week 13. And it was the Commanders who picked up the road victory, so they'll be fighting for the season sweep in this one. They run the option here on 1st and 10.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. This is caught. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That one nearly 30 yards. 29 officially.
But I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends.
Robinson, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Robinson again, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson, Jr.
with career touchdown number 94. He ties both Jerome Bettis and Priest Holmes on the all-time list.
And the Commanders have taken a 13-0 first-quarter lead. So a great second effort there as he's able to stay upright and get into the end zone.
I think not just a second effort. I think a third effort was what got him in. Maybe possibly even a 4th.
Yeah, whatever it was, he was not going to be denied.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first-quarter lead. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down.
Play action. Here's Hurts.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. This will be caught by Brown. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. It's caught on the right side at Smith.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
This Washington defense, Charles, terrific in the victory a week ago.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Goddard.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw again.
But he cannot avoid the pressure as the Washington pass rush gets home. Chase Young
in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is taken around the 12. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's Washington in possession of the football.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11.
Completion here to Claypool. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
A give left side to Robinson. It was T.J. Edwards who brought him down.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw.
Over the middle, hauled in by Lamb. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, You often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. 2nd and 3.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first-half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10. From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver as he brings out this offense.
You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want any less passes to come to his direction.
2nd and 4. Second down and a run by Robinson.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Off the option, it's Jones. Taken down at the 47-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now back to throw.
This pass hauled in by Dotson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
On 3rd down, Robinson.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run again here with Robinson.
To the 36-yard line, stop there.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on 3rd downs. And now they face a 3rd and inches. They're going to look to throw.
Able to connect with Dotson. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Back to the ground with Robinson.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. He'll look to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to have a gain of 11 to the 11 before he's brought down. 1st and 10. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2nd and 6. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue, but all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again.
They're in a bit of a bind, a pretty big bind, down 20-0 as they start here on 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. On the draw, here's Sanders. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. But first down, Hurts. Dancing to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Hurts. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted.
Derek Stingley picks it, and the Commanders are in great shape here as they take over at the 36-yard line.
Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got him in. It's Brown.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Options galore here. Second and a few inches.
The throw over the middle, taken in.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw here. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half.
And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
That he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's Sam Martin now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Commanders back out late in this first half. And with great starting field position and 1 timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll throw now on the final play.
Over the middle, that's caught by Claypool.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We begin up in Maryland with one of the better games of the entire weekend. Green Bay taking on Baltimore. And it's the Packers who have the lead in that one. Joe Mixon with a touchdown run. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And this one going the visitors' way, as the Texans have the lead in that one. Josh Palmer, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And currently they are tied with the visiting Bills in that one. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they will need to get this passing game in gear, because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for Washington, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts, as you can see the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Second half about to start. The Commanders have the lead. They'll get it first as we are back underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here come the Commanders for the first possession of the third quarter. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead.
Oh, they pitch to the tight end. It's a fake. Well, a touch unconventional. I don't know that you usually gain yards on first down by a fake field goal. But they did gain yards, I guess. I don't know what else to say.
And the beauty of it is, it just goes to second down. They keep the ball. Just because they went for a fake field goal doesn't mean they turned the ball over because they didn't get a first down. It's now second down for them. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down. Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Able to break the tackle and get some breathing room before being brought down just outside the 5. To throw on 2nd and 6. Hurts. Incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Derek Stingley picks it, and he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Well, I mean, we get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick-6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that stretches the lead to 27. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout.
And now here is another interception.
And he will bring this one back. It is a pick six for a Washington touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
A try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
The job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20.
Throwing is Hurts.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And this is going to be incomplete. Here's Sam Martin now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Washington offense set to take over. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
A little bit of space there for the 1st down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Left side to Lamb. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Robinson is into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Boy, another score. This lead gets even bigger. And, Charles, we haven't even hit the fourth quarter yet.
Well, forget the deficit, right? They're really not going to cut into that a heck of a lot. But how can they get out of here with some dignity? Can they get a stop or two? Can they make a play on offense themselves? Anything to start to feel better about what's happened to them here in this one.
Now the try here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive, 4 plays.
And it was capped off by the touchdown run from Brian Robinson.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And it's fielded at the 34. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
From a star in college to a star in the NFL, CeeDee Lamb at wide receivers. He brings out this offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Again, it's Robinson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
He'll look to throw.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. A gain of 8 there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Tress Way now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
The Eagles just about set to go to work on offense. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Second down, back to Sanders.
And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. And this will be incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. Here's Tress Way now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Another run with Sanders. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked off by Cameron Curl. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll set up a throw. This will be caught by Brown.
And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Off the option, it's Jones.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter. 2nd and 11. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. He'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food, because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
Robinson with another carry.
They find some open field here. And he's got this down to the 35.
121 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Robinson up the middle.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Up the middle, Jones. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. So on 4th down, Ron Rivera sends out the field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they've had that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
He finds his man, complete. That's Brown. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts. Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there, I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance.
And now here's another interception.
And the Commanders are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Second down and a run by Robinson.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Eagles are going to take over here up near the 40.
That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at the 39-yard line. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. To throw again on 2nd down.
Hurts. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. The pressure from multiple guys there as they bury him for a big 9-yard loss.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long.
Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
They start on the ground with Robinson here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Open man Lamb, it's complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. But they have been unstoppable this afternoon, Charles. They just went after them from the start, and pass plays like we just saw. They're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the 4th quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Here's Tress Way now as he's on for the 5th time here today. Fielded at the 20. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. On 1st down, Hurts.
Escaping the pressure right. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
The Commanders preparing for their next possession. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Hand off to Robinson out of the shotgun. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 136 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back.
And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here 1st and 10. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
But he will have the 1st down before he's brought down at the 3. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Commanders,
they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions.